Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty big news in regards now to the UK and Xbox. Now, as you guys may or may not already know, Xbox has been trying to go buy Activision, we've heard about all the time, but as of recently, Brazil actually kind of gave its thumbs up, stating as they went through the information and the documents and all that stuff, that basically Xbox is fine to go and proceed. We also did have some very intriguing information kind of came out in regards to Xbox Game Pass, where it's basically earning around an average of $3 billion to subscriptions, and as well as getting around like 15 to 20 million subscribers, depending on like what games are out, if it's like up or down months, etc., etc. But as well, we still have to go and closely watch the UK and other regulatory bodies that are actually also posing up like, hey, this could be issues, hey, this may not want to go through, hey, this might turn into a monopoly, and obviously a lot of drama when it comes to Call of Duty, PlayStation, and all of that. So we actually had a very intriguing statement as of today with the UK regulators that are calling out all this like details and the drama when it comes to the Microsoft Activision Blizzard acquisition, and it actually is now basically putting it even more on a hold, stating and fearing that the acquisition could lessen the competition in the gaming consoles, subscription service, and cloud gaming spaces. So a lot of big information coming out. I'm going to go through what's happening, what's going on, what's the latest, and why the UK is trying their best to block this on out. So if you guys want to go subscribe and give your thoughts as we're going throughout the video, feel free to down below. We also have the PS5 giveaway, $500 giveaway, and also Xbox giveaway too, with that Twitter link, and also just by subscribing, or the Twitter and Twitch stream down below too, and all the usual sell links as well. And let's dive on into this. So we actually have a fantastic article over here from the gamesindustry.biz that's basically going into the whole details of all the UK regulator details, the concerns, and everything they have with this. Now, the big major hierarchy notes is Call of Duty, big drama, but also the other various games too as well, don't get us wrong. But on top of that too is also issues with Game Pass, and the biggest thing that people keep on pushing into, and these big legal experts, is not necessarily so much on the PlayStation versus Xbox drama, it's more so on the fact of future companies may not be able to compete. If you have someone like Xbox that is giving all these games at an amazing deal, it's hard to say. It's kind of like if you want to go start selling, let's say, t-shirts, and then you have Walmart selling t-shirts for $1, and you have to go charge $20 to be able to go pay your rent. At that point, it's a monopoly, and they can't go do anything with that. So let's go talk about this in-depth article in the UK regulation and what's coming out as of today. So the UK regulator details concerns over Microsoft's proposed acquisition of the Activision Blizzard, with also Xbox responding to as well. The CMA expects the deal to impact PlayStation, but as well, also video game streaming. So the Competition and Markets Authority has detailed its concerns over Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard. The UK regulator is seen as a key element to whether this deal would be allowed to go ahead. The deal did not pass through the initial phase of approval and has been sent to a second phase. So as of right now, like Brazil is like, yeah, go for it. But places like the UK are seeing like, hey, this did not go down to official status of approval, and we need to go and now allocate it with it. So now the group has cited its concerns over the deal, and Microsoft has also already responded to it as well. So the impact on PlayStation and its rivals, we may go do a separate video on this maybe later on today. The CMA is concerned that the deal will harm PlayStation and other multi-game subscription offerings, as Microsoft may withhold Activision Blizzard content from them. And that's what I've kind of been saying, is that although Xbox may do it for, 1 or 2 or 3 years, at the same time, maybe after the 4th year, 5th year, they may not offer those same deals to PlayStation because the contract's ended. The people kind of move on, they forget that Xbox even bought it. Or as well, it's also impacting things like Ubisoft, EA, etc. that are also trying to compete in the space. The body is also concerned that Microsoft may use Activision Blizzard alongside other Microsoft services to outcompete rivals such as Google, Amazon, and Nvidia too as well, and has more focus in the game streaming space. So think like Stadia, Amazon has Luna, and I think Nvidia has like some like weird kind of stuff too as well. There is a realistic prospect of the substantial lessening of competition in gaming consoles, multi-game subscription services, and cloud gaming services, the firm said in an extensive document. The CMA points to the network effect of the console market, where a console with a lot more gamers attracts more content, which in turn attracts more gamers. It's like the hype builds on hype kind of mentality, where it's if you keep on getting all these huge games, such as Call of Duty, people are going to stay in your console, and that makes you more money, and that means you could buy more games, and that also means you could also invest more money into games like, say, Halo, and get bigger development teams, and it's like I like the hype on hype on hype on hype on hype. And the firm is also concerned that the acquisition of Call of Duty and any potential exclusivity on Xbox will create a sizable network effect on the Microsoft platform. So they keep on saying like, hey, we may not get that much of a deal, but if basically like Call of Duty is available for $15, you just can't really compete on any other platform, Steam especially, PlayStation especially. The CMA is concerned that having full control over this powerful catalog, especially in light of Microsoft's already strong position in gaming consoles, operating systems, and cloud infrastructure, could result in Microsoft harming consumers by impairing Sony's, Microsoft's closet gaming rival, ability to compete as well of all the other existing rivals, and potentially, and I keep on saying this, potential new entrants who could otherwise bring healthy competition through innovative multi-game subscriptions and cloud gaming services. So, we've kind of known about their kind of like, just basically calling out the fact of other companies may not be able to grow, but a big thing is they're also bringing in, say, Google and other various big platforms like NVIDIA, where if they kind of push this and they can have like a huge market lead and advantage, that other places, even these huge multi-billion-dollar companies, may either have to go and spend, and this is, I think, a big point too, you guys can kind of comment down below, they have to spend more billions of dollars to compete. So let's say you're Google and you want to go and drop another, let's say, $50 billion and you want to buy then Ubisoft and EA and maybe like one or two other big platforms. Well, then guess what? That means that there's even now less competition too, because if you're now having these huge multi-trillion-dollar companies buying up these billion-dollar companies, then guess what? At that point, we're going to have like three megacorps of, let's say, PlayStation, Xbox, Tencent, and like Google or Apple, whatever wants to tie on in. And then at that point, you cannot compete, especially with huge gaming subscription services that are $15 a month. And that's why something like Netflix being broken up is nice, because although it doesn't make the Netflix product stronger, and may also spread to different stuff, it makes like the competition better. So a big thing is also on the subscription side. This is basically a big key point of concern, as the CMA believes it's possible, or even likely, that without this deal, Activision Blizzard games may have come to other subscription services too. And I think that would also make sense because PlayStation just spent $3.5 million to get Ark, and then Xbox paid $2.7, I think it was, for Ark 2. So ideally, they actually could have just had both of those game services shown up on these streaming services, and the actual Ark game could have made more money, and as well, Microsoft and PlayStation could have still had their benefits for their own consumers, which makes a lot of sense. So the CMA recognizes that ABK's newest games are not currently available on any subscription service on a day of release, but considers that this may change as subscription services continue to grow. After the merger, Microsoft would gain control of this important input and can use it to harm the competitiveness of their rivals. So in terms of streaming, the CMA's concerns are around Microsoft's potential in this market too as well, due to the ownership of Azure cloud gaming service, plus its PC operating system. I believe that there's a chance this, coupled with the ownership of Activision Blizzard, will give Microsoft an unparalleled advantage over other cloud gaming streaming providers. So once again, this is also diving into the cloud streaming. So they're worried about subscription services with PS Plus or Nintendo, because right now there is basically nothing else out there besides PlayStation Plus, which does not offer this, and Game Pass. And as well, it also goes into the cloud gaming, where Microsoft has huge computing servers, and things like Amazon as well are also competing in the hosting space, but it may not be as big to go and compete as well, which is very intriguing to see. But on top of that too, that also makes the barrier of entry hard, because if even Google Stadia couldn't make it, now imagine a mom and pop or smaller scale thing that has to pay millions, if not billions of dollars of hosting, and also apply legal fees, also on top of hosting fees, licensing fees, and all of that, to make it so these companies can actually host their products. And that just is almost impossible for a startup unless they have huge seed funding, and most huge seed funding would also maybe be coming from huge competitors as well, which also is the same thing with this big monopoly. So this is also hard to see, because these are all like basically not justifying a reference to phase 2 as well. So basically Microsoft is trying their best to go put in like a proper detailed response of like, no, like we want this deal to go through, stop, like no, this is not going to be a monopoly, we'll give you guys all the details we can. And this also cites PlayStation's current market leading position with a console install base of 150 versus Xbox's 63. But I do want to go and also maybe make this on a separate video, Like, I could probably talk about this for like hours. That also does not include the PC version too as well, which is also a huge market, especially with Microsoft and Windows tie-ins. It also says that Sony's current market leadership has seen it conduct practices such as raising the price of its console without fear of losing market share. This follows recent news too as well, with the PS5 price increases too. So basically Xbox did go into some pretty big things, and I want to do a little bit more of a deeper dive with this as well. But I also want to maybe save this for a separate video because we're going kind of long already. But basically for this one, we're seeing that the suggestions that the basically market leader has huge market power could be foreclosed by a third largest provider as a result of losing access to one title is not credible. Although I do want to go make a note that this is multiple titles such as Overwatch, etc., not just Call of Duty. They also do go and say and try to go push that Microsoft is also still going to be smaller even if PlayStation moves over, although people are not fully committed to that too as well. So there's a lot more stuff to break into, but I don't want to make a 30-minute video. Unless you guys would like this stuff in the future, I wouldn't mind doing a deeper dive. But for this one, it just kind of goes to show that basically they are essentially locked as of out right now, and we may give you guys some more details too as well, maybe in a part 2 video, maybe later on today. But there's a lot of stuff going on. I want to hear your thoughts. The CMA is calling them out on Xbox, and they're basically making sure that this cloud gaming, Google, Nvidia, whatever, are not trying to go get and lose money and market share. So I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments on that topic alone. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below, Twitter and Twitch stream down below, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching in the first place.